Now we're going to examine values. A value is the type of data that you are working with in a variable. There are many different types of values. We are going to review what they are here. To begin with, you should understand that PHP differs from a lot of programming languages in that usually the programmer defines the kind of value that a variable will be. This is called typecasting. In PHP, however, the interpreter does this for you. This allows the programmer much flexibility in changing variable types back and forth, and cuts down the program planning time considerably by not needing to plan out every single variable type throughout the script. Some programmers call this lazy programming. I call it fast and efficient, real-world programming. There is a way to typecast in PHP, but I have found that there is rarely a need to do that in the normal course of programming. The first value type that we're going to explore is a numeric value. PHP supports two types of numeric values. An integer value is generally a whole number, such as 1, 35, 5, 433, or 325, or the like. The second kind of numeric value is a real or floating point value. This is a decimal value such as 10.2 or 0.2323432. Numeric values are typically expressed in base 10, or what you would refer to in everyday life as our decimal system. You can, however, also express numeric values in hexadecimal, which is base 16 format, by preceding the value with a 0x, or even in octal format, by prefixing the value with a single 0. If you do not already know what hexadecimal or octal values are, you will not likely ever need to know. Numeric types are declared by naming a variable, then assigning the numeric value to the variable without quotes of any kind, as we see here. Next, we have string values. A string is represented most of the time as pieces of text. However, they are in reality, or programming reality, a collection of bytes placed in a specific order. A string can contain text or binary data, such as a flash file or an image. When declaring a string variable, there are two main ways to do so. The only difference between the ways are the quotations that enclose a string, either a single quote or a double quote. Using double quotes is the most common method. When you declare a variable with double quotes, you can include special characters such as a line feed, which is a \n, carriage returns, which is a \r, and other formatting characters. However, you must remember that if you want a double quote printed out within the double quoted variable, you have to escape it. Confused? Let's build a script to clarify. Let's declare a variable, call it variable1. We are going to declare this variable to contain the string of words, some simple text. Save it. What we're going to do is print out this string, similar to how we printed out the hello world on the screen. In this case, though, we're telling the interpreter to print out the value of variable1, instead of telling it to print out the words directly. Now we save the script and run it in our browser. Pretty straightforward. Next, we go back to the script and change it a bit. We're going to replace some simple text with the string, this is some text, some text to print out. Notice how the word text is within double quotes. What do you think is going to happen here? Aha, an error. This error is telling us that there is a problem with this string. So let's see why. First, we start to contain the string within double quotes. Fine. Now, think in terms of HTML. Every HTML tag contains an opening and a closing tag. Similar concept here. The first double quote is the opening tag, and then we hit another double quote. The interpreter reads that as the closing tag. Then it sees this word text. Now it's confused. What is text? What is it referencing? What does it mean? The interpreter has no idea that these double quotes are actually a part of a different set of quotes, so it aborts and returns an error. Does this mean that you cannot use double quotes in a string declaration? No, not at all. It means that double quotes have to be escaped. We escape within a variable with a backslash. So we put a backslash in front of each of these two double quotes, save it, and run it. There we go. The double quotes are no longer confusing the interpreter. The backslash tells the interpreter that the next character is a special one, and to act appropriately. In this case, it just prints double quotes. If an R, T, N, or other special sequence follows a backslash, then the interpreter will treat them according to their meaning: a carriage return, a tab, a new line, etc. Using single quotes in a variable declaration will ensure that the text enclosed within is interpreted literally. That is, no variable substitution takes place. For instance, let's compare single to double quotes for this variable declaration. First, we have some text declared in var1. Next, we place that variable in var2 to be interpreted. When the interpreter hits this reference to var1, it will replace that with the contents of var1. In var3, we do the same thing, except we're going to enclose this within single quotes instead of double quotes, as we did in var2. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. Now, we're going to print them out to the screen, and we'll see the difference. As you can see, when we print out here, the double quoted variable prints out the statement with the var1 interpreted. See, Mike, which is var1, was replaced within the string. The single quoted var3, however, prints out the actual $sign var1 instead of interpreting it. That is the core difference between single and double quoted variables. The exact same would go for print statements. We took these and enclosed them first within double quotes, and then within single quotes, and get the same results. The variables within the double quotes get interpreted. The variable call within the single quotes does not, because it is interpreted literally. Next, we will continue covering other types of variables.